All right, let's take you back now to one of our leading stories. Protesters in Niger have closed the Alrapark School. This is in the area of Gauteng here in the East Rand. This is over the deteriorating infrastructure, which they say poses a threat to the safety of pupils. The parents there claim they've held several meetings with the Gauteng Department of Education, but these promises were never fulfilled. The Gauteng Education spokesperson, Steve Mabona, joining us tonight to respond to what is happening on the ground in Niger. Mr. Mabona, good evening to you. Thank you as always for your time. Have you neglected addressing the infrastructure problems at this school for too long?
Good evening, Polly. Let's also convey our condolences to the Matia family. We worked with the city very well. We are shocked, actually. No. We did not neglect any community in that area. Our officials have been engaging the community and the SGB, updating them on what is it that we've decided to do with that school. The school was declared unsafe, and hence we then decided to give them mobile units as an interim measure. You know, MEC visited the school, and he also saw that we really need to do something as a department.
Yeah. Before you move on, Steve, can I just get one clarity-seeking question? I apologize for interrupting you. You say this school was declared unsafe, and therefore temporary structures were now going to be erected. When exactly was this decision taken that this is an unsafe facility, but importantly, would you then move pupils to a different school, or is it going to go under refurbishment?
Well, MEC decided to visit the school, and upon inspection, you know, on the face of it, on face value, he then decided that no, we really need to do something about the school. It's then that the school was declared unsafe, meaning the buildings, the two buildings that were identified. Then we then provided them with mobile units to say no one must be in that structure. Mobile units have been, you know, there, but then the community has been complaining that they need pavement. We then tried to do the pavement, but then our service providers were hindered. They could not do, because the community says they want a new school because of the utterances probably that were made by the MEC to say they need a new school there. But as a department, we then sent our officials to go and do an assessment. After the thorough assessment, our professionals then came back to say, no, we can refurbish the school. So we then started with the process to say, let's then work on the process to refurbish the school, which is something that is unfolding. But the community says, no, they want a new school or nothing. Hence, they then decided to disrupt. And we interacted with them. We made a commitment to say, we are finalizing the process to give them the paving that they want because they are complaining about dust. We also must provide electricity in some of the mobile units that are there. And also they are complaining that there's leaks when it's raining. Then we need to also fix that while we are going to be working very closely with the community to conduct the refurbishment of the school, which is not going to be a small project. It's going to be a very big project.
So what is the department's solution to this, particularly around the mobile classrooms? Because that school now is not operational and has not been, at least based on what our reporter is telling us, from community members themselves, that the school has been shut for 3 weeks. Children are not attending school.
Yes, they did shut down the school. I mean, our officials, they've been there, you know, trying to negotiate with them from the district office, from the office of the MEC. They've been there interacting with them to try to make them understand that let's rather allow children to come back at school while we resolve all these other issues. We can do parallel structures in terms of us communicating with each other and make sure that we then address the issues that they want them to be addressed. But no. Because of that pronouncement, they are then saying, no, we don't want to listen to anything besides the new structure that we want.
Okay.
And to a certain extent, there was a budget that when they were looking at the structure, they were saying it was going to be this amount that can fix some of the elements in a school. So they are also referring to that money to say, no, there's a budget is out, that money must be transferred to the school. But we're saying the project that we're going to be unfolding here, it's not a size that can be managed at the school level. So hence, we're going to be working with them and make sure that we refurbish the school. But what we need to do urgently is for them to allow us to do paving, also give electricity to those other mobiles, and make sure that there's no leaks, because it's going to be a rainy season. Yeah. And then children can continue parallel to other things that will be happening at the school.
Did the MEC promise a new school?
Well, according to, because I was not there at that time, but they are adamant that yes, he did promise a new school. But what I was saying, and from the department perspective, even if he promised the school, it was on the face of it, looking at the structure. It was without an assessment. So as a department, we had to send our infrastructure, professionals to say, can you do an assessment on the building? Is the building inhabitable to an extent that we need to demolish? Or we can work on the current structure and add, additional clusters. And the professionals went to say, no, we don't need to demolish. We can refurbish the current structures that are there, and also be in a position to add classrooms, which will then be making sure that the number of learners that are there are well accommodated in that school. So that's what we were advised as the department by the professionals.
Very briefly, Steve, it would appear that for this protest to come to an end, 3 weeks of pupils not being taught inside a classroom is a very long time. It would seem that the only way to resume classes is for the MEC to go and speak to the parents. Is it prepared to do that?
Well, we've been engaging with the MEC, but you see the shortcoming about that story is that we have over 2,000 schools in Gauteng. It will set a bad precedence, very bad, because we have so many challenges in many areas. We've been having challenges in Hammanskraal, where parents will disrupt schooling. We've been having challenges in El Dorado Park, where we'll have disruptions. Tsakane is our biggest problem, where we get disrupted on many occasions. So it will dictate then that communities and parents will say, shut down the school until the MEC comes here. So it means we're not going to be in a position to manage schools. It means MEC will then have to be on the ground on an everyday basis, going from one school to the other, taking the demands that the community or an SGB would have shut down the school and say the only person that we want to interact with is the MEC.
But that's his responsibility,
it will not be a
Steve.
good precedent.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that is his responsibility as a public official. It's to go and listen to the grievances. Are you saying that he's not prepared to do that?
But he's been there. He went there. So when you say, is this responsibility? Yes, is this responsibility? But he even showed the responsibility and accountability, because he went to the school and made a huge intervention. Because after the assessment, he instructed to say, no, this structure cannot be having children to learn in here. Let's cordon off, let's close it. Now, one official at the school then instructed some employees to be in the structure, and unfortunately one was injured, which is something that was not supposed to happen. But we'll hear from the MEC. If we decide to go, we will go to there and interact. But what we said to the SGB and the community members yesterday when we visited, we said, can we at least allow children to come back? And even if MEC were to come, we can still do that parallel to children being in a classroom. Right. Then we can resolve whatever we want to resolve. But like as I'm indicating, that it's going to be a very bad precedent that communities will shut down schools and say they want the MEC.
All right. Steve Mabona, thank you very much for your time. He speaks for the Gauteng Education